So I've been getting a lot of requests for a commoner build with Nuu. Now on the surface, she seems pretty straightforward, right? Blues, reacts, and some chi. That said, I think she's uniquely qualified to take on an old pairing from Arcane Rising. So today I'm covering my spicy concept build, Moonwish, Sunkiss, Nuu. A huge shout out to our channel members for supporting what we do here. If you want to get involved with the channel and the Dice Commando community, please consider joining as a channel member. Remember, these videos are only possible with your support. You can show that support with a like, a subscribe, and by leaving us a comment and sharing your feedback. Community first, and go Commando. Hey there, my flesh and blood friends. Welcome back to Dice Commando and Go Again, a fabulous cast. And thanks for tuning in for another installment of Dice Commando here on the channel. It's our commoner format series. Today specifically, we're talking a concept build that I've come up with. I don't know if it's going to work or not, but I think it's pretty spicy. It is Moonwish, Sunkiss, Nuu. So Moonwish and Sunkiss came out in Arcane Rising. They were functionally best served with Kano, right? Because you could do the thing, get the action point, play it as an instant, get the action, play as an instant, then get the action point, right? You get it. Okay, so Moonwish is a 2 for 5/4/3. You may put a card from your hand on top of your deck rather than pay the cost, which is pretty spicy. And if it hits, search your deck for a card named Sunkiss, reveal it, put it in your hand, then shuffle your deck. Now, this card itself does not have Go Again, does not give you an action point, but Sunkiss gain 3, 2, 1 based on the red, yellow, blue. And if you played a card named Moonwish this turn, draw a card, it's pretty good in Fab, and Sunkiss gains Go Again, which means that you then get the action point on the back. Well, that's pretty cool. Now, why Nuu? Why all of this? Because Nuu is very uniquely positioned with Hiss to be able to give action points. Well, to be able to give Go Again, to be clear, actually, to be functionally correct. But Hiss is able to react independently. It doesn't have to be Mystic, doesn't have to be Assassin, just gives Go Again. So I think she's very well positioned to try and do this. And again, I want to be clear, right? Kano has tried this in Commoner. It's been fine, but not great. I wouldn't even say good, not great. It's been fine, not great. I think Nuu, though, can really change the narrative on this. Let's go ahead and look at the deck. All right, so what we were running in terms of this Commoner deck, and yes, the link is below. You've hopefully already jammed it at this point. It's running a Rousing Wave. Now, Rousing, well, and her boots, of course, but these themselves are attack reactions. For one, create a Fang Strike in your hand, right? Let's go down to the bottom. Actually, that's a good starting point in this. Just to remind everybody what her things do. So Fang Strike gives you a +1, so you can make sure that it hits. And then Slither, oh, the important Slither, attack action card gets Go Again. Does not have to be Mystic, does not have to be Assassin. Target attack action card gets Go Again. Well, now we're in business because good old, where is it? Good old Moonwish, this is the blue version, we're playing the rainbow, gets Go Again. Pretty good. It's pretty good for what we're trying to do here. Okay, so to round out the suite, we're playing Beckoning Mistblade and Spider's Bite because those are your commoner options. So that's what you've got on hand. I'm playing Crossdrap because if for some reason it's the only one you have in your hand, you can still play Moonwish. To be clear, it's not great, right? Because you want to be able to react and do the thing. They're definitely going to block it because, you know, gaining life is kind of a thing. It's always been good. We're playing Mask of Malicious Manifestations primarily because as Blade Break 1, it's kind of, you know, functionally just a good one in terms of blocking, but it can also set you up in case you dead draw. There are a lot of reacts in this. It can happen. You know, if you look at the breakdown of the deck, there's 14 reds, 18 blues, 8 yellows. But in terms of, you know, what you have out there, there's D-reacts, there's reacts, there's D-reacts, and there's some attack actions, but they're not necessarily ones you want. So it makes sense to go help bail you out. And we, of course, have Undertow Stilettos. Create a Slither in your hand, so you have the bail out there in case you don't get your Hiss. Now, I think functionally you see probably where we're going here. So I am playing Frailty Trap. I mean, I think this one's pretty self-explanatory for both Assassins and Rangers, given the fact that ninjas are freaking everywhere, and they're really good, and Kodachis are everywhere, and they get a Frailty, which makes the Kodachis not hit unless you're Ira on the second one. You get it. Don't leave this at home in the format if you can run this card. Okay. Now we're playing Rainbow Hiss. This is the one that comes in for 3/2/1, does cost you 1, but comes in for 3/2/1, and then creates the Slither, which gives you the Go Again on the react. Okay. Now, do keep in mind, aside from Pick to Pieces, which we'll look at, none of her cards actually, you don't have Double Trouble. You definitely don't have Bonds of Agony. So you don't have any of her, like, if you've played X reacts, trigger things. I mean, aside from Pick to Pieces, but meh. So, it's just about getting the go again. Okay, do we then have Moonwish? I'm also running Pummel because Moonwish is a 2 and Pummel's pretty good. So go with that. We then have Sink Below, no Fate Foreseen, obviously Frailty Traps filling that role. Okay, now Sunkiss is in here as well. So what I'm going to do for a second here is I'm going to cut back away from the deck and kind of explain what you can potentially do with this thing. And when you really start to think about it, it actually starts getting pretty crazy. Okay, so if Moonwish hits, search your deck. So you tutor out Sunkiss and put it into your hand. Sunkiss, when you play it then, because you would have just tutored it, gives you go again. So functionally the other action point, right? Because again, we're giving Moonwish a hand, or giving Moonwish go again so we can play it. Play Sunkiss, you draw a card. Okay, so in theory, not only do you have go again, but you also drawing a card to backfill. You can actually Moonwish and then just pachoo and gain a whole bunch of health. Okay, so let's bring the deck back up again, and now let's slide back down to once I get in the right window, let's slide back down to Bonds of Memory, Desires of Flesh, Infect does not, but Pick to Pieces. These all also gain you, well, Pick to Pieces isn't either, but Bonds of Memory and Desires of Flesh, if you hit the right thing, gives you health. We also have Homage to Ancestors, which gives you health and chi. Grain that tips the scale gives you health and chi. The chi, I'm only playing 2 chi cards in this because you mostly just want it in game, right, to try and basically get value and pull stuff out of their deck. I do want to note down here, one card I put in the maybes is Intimate Inducement. I actually really think this card's like super good in Commoner, but I couldn't find a spot for it in the deck, but I put it in the maybe because I think like it's a serious maybe, because being able to go and pull out somebody's 0 blue and then they can't Kadachi, because you can not only do that, but then you put it on the top in any order, shut them down next turn, seems pretty good. So I think there's argument to find room in the deck. Okay, so we already talked about Hiss. Now I do have Venomous Bite. We don't need the full rainbow of Venomous Bite. That's really just to help push you damage. Venomous Bite's obviously the 3/2/1 with the Fang Strike, so it's actually a 4/3/2. Right, now you don't necessarily have to use it on the same. You can actually arsenal the card you made, which is not horrible, right, depending on the situation. But you do have a potential 4/3/2 off of a 1 there. And then I am packing Battlefront Bastion main board. One of the weird things with this deck is you kind of ran out of space, and I wanted to be able to pack what I wanted to pack. You can see all down here in the inventory I'm running Raging Onslaught. So we've got 3 poppers there. Okay, and then we round out the suite with the 4 blues, which do the new thing, right? But again, remember the main point of this deck is the Moonwish Sunkiss combo for not only the pop-off to do damage, but gain health, and then gain health, and then gain health. You're constantly threatening health. Well, not constantly, but you're consistently threatening health with her blues, as well as a banish, and then they've got to worry about the new thing. And there's a lot going on here, and I like it. Going into the inventory, playing Oasis Respite because we are playing Arcane Lantern, because then you can not play Spider's Bite. You can just play your card. And honestly, in the Wizard matchup, you're probably not swinging your dagger at all, because like 2 for 1 seems really bad when you're taking Arcane to the face from Icelander. And then we're on Hood and Robe. And then again, you can see in my maybes, and then you see the tokens that are available there, because we are running Blue Infect. So very, very, very... I think this is really cool. So I would love for your feedback on this. What do you think about this? The ceiling potential on this is very high, right? Gaining a whole bunch of health. We've seen when you combine grindiness and health gain, it's good, right? And when you combine grindiness and health gain at the same time that you're pushing damage and or forcing cards, seems better to me. Okay, especially when those cards that you're forcing, in many cases, you can then potentially play later just for pitching. Seems pretty good to me. So anyway, let me know your thoughts. Enjoy the deck, list is below, and go Commando.